Well, welcome back to our video blog where we help you keep informed and stay abreast of real estate news and trends. And today, I'd like to re-welcome our Washtenaw County Treasurer, Kathy McClary, to discuss a very important topic. I might not be able to pay my taxes. Now what? So without further ado, we appreciate your education in this avenue, Kathy McClary.
Well, thank you so much, Kathy. And the best and first and most important thing you could do if you're in trouble with taxes or mortgage payments is to reach out, to please talk with someone. It's so hard when you're troubled or embarrassed. I'm going to give you my email address. It has changed, so please note it's taxes@washtenaw.gov. We now have a .gov address, taxes@washtenaw.gov. So if you are in trouble with your taxes, just email. It comes directly to me. I will respond to your question, or I'll refer it to a staff person who's most experienced and capable of answering it. We're non-judgmental. And if you're having problems with a mortgage payment or an escrow account, you really should talk to Kathy. Kathy Toth has such experience. We've both lived through the Great Recession. And she knows all of the mortgage options. So reach out is the main thing I want to say. Other than that, I wanted to touch just briefly in the short amount of time we have on income taxes, what some of the resources are that are available for people, and of course property taxes, because that would be my area of expertise. But Michigan does have an earned income tax credit. So even if you're not required to file income taxes due to your income level, but you do have some employment, please file and get your earned income tax credit. If you have a child, I believe that you can get up to about $3,500. So that is really important to do. And there is also a homestead tax credit that if you do own your home and you're paying income taxes, that you will get a credit for the income taxes that you pay. There's also a child care credit that you can get. So you want to be sure to take care of all of those types of things. Then if it's easier for you to try to set up some type of automatic payments or payment plans, in Michigan, you are allowed to make partial payments on your taxes. And in Washtenaw County, every single treasurer will accept, they'll accept partial payments as payment toward your taxes. And what that means is if you do enter a period where you're late with your taxes or delinquent with your taxes, your interest will only be on the balance that's left, so it won't be quite so high. And I'm going to segue now from the income taxes to talk more about property taxes and take a look at what the property tax timeline is. So in Michigan, the timeline for mortgage payments and for tax payments is somewhat different. So again, if you're in trouble with mortgage payments, please talk with Kathy Toth. If you're having problems paying your taxes, please go to Taxes@. In Michigan, taxes are levied and they're due every July 1st and December 1st. And then you have a period of time to pay. It depends if you're in the city or the township. But if you haven't paid last year's taxes, and this is a chart for 2020 taxes, they would have been turned over to the county treasurer in 2021. And then we would begin a whole process of collection. We would send notices to people. We would make personal visits with people. We would try to get a phone number and try to contact you personally. If there's a land contract holder, we try to contact them. If there is a bank that has a mortgage, we contact them because we are working as a big team to help you get your taxes paid up. So there are exemptions that some people can have from taxes, and there are also deferments. And I'm going to talk first, Kathy, about the deferment. And this timeline is on my website. If people choose, they can washtenaw.org/treasurer. They can go to the website and take a look at this. We'll talk about the deferments first, because if you file a deferment with your city or township prior to your July, excuse me, if you file a deferment with your city or township prior to your July taxes, then you can hold off paying July and December taxes until April 30th of the following year without any interest or fees. And to qualify for that, you need to be a farmer, or you need an income of $40,000 or less and be 62 years of age, have some type of disability, or be a service person or veteran. So those deferments are really helpful, particularly for seniors that are living on a fixed income, for someone in the military. And that defers your taxes. When you're looking at exemptions, there's a number of exemptions. One of them that you and I talked about earlier, Kathy, was the veterans exemption.
Yeah, and there's a couple of different opportunities for that. So thank you for elaborating.
Well, if you are a veteran who has a disability and you need to modify your home, then Michigan law will allow you to do that and be exempt, actually exempt from the taxes on your home, the majority of the taxes. You know, there are nuances with all of this. The laws change, income levels change in the regulations. The income levels are often based on federal poverty guidelines, which get increased every year. And for that reason, it's also good to reach out to make sure if you thought, oh my gosh, I didn't qualify for that income level, well, maybe it's changed the next year. With veterans, one of the nuances is they are exempt from ad valorem taxes, and that means the general tax millage, but they're not necessarily exempt from special assessments, because a special assessment was put on a specific property for a specific benefit. But if you have had to remodel your home as a veteran or the unmarried spouse of a deceased veteran, please check that out, because you may have some tax exemptions. Also, there's a new law that exempts any veteran who's 100% disabled. They file a document with their assessor, and then their property is basically taken off the tax rolls. So that's very helpful as well. If you meet poverty guidelines, and poverty guidelines for a family of one in the city of Ann Arbor is about $28,000. And if you're a family of a couple, it's $38,000. So there are a number of people in Michigan who would meet some of these poverty guidelines.
Yeah, and again, the numbers could change based on guidelines, so be aware to check in. And then, of course, the application for deferment, which Catherine talked about earlier.
I think those are the basic qualifications or exemptions that people might be eligible for, or deferments. But there are a couple of special programs out there now. One is offered through the state of Michigan, and it's paid for with American Rescue Plan funds through the federal government. This program started February 14th, happy Valentine's Day, so it's very timely for this blog in March. It's called MyHAF, Michigan Home Affordability Fund. And this fund will help people in a number of really important ways. If you're behind in a mortgage payment, an escrow payment, if you're having trouble paying your insurance on your home, if you have condo fees, if you have utility payments, gas, electric, water, broadband, internet, this fund will pay for that. And these income guidelines are not poverty level. These income guidelines are based on the census tract where you live, and they are 100% to 150% of median income. And because Washtenaw County is such a high median income, if you're one person and you have household income of $79,900 or less, you will qualify. And two people is $85,000. And that's 100%. You just add a little bit more. If you meet 150%, one person is $111,850. So this program is really designed to be available to all of us who've been affected by COVID. The application form is right online, michigan.gov/MIHAF, MIHAF. You need to attest that you were hurt during the pandemic in some way or another, reduced income, loss of a job, sickness, illness, caring for a family member, whatever your issue was with COVID, you would attest to that, and then fill out the forms for whether you need utility assistance, mortgage assistance, tax assistance, whatever. So we really think that this is going to be an important program for people. If you can't find the link, you forget what the link is, you need help with the application, please go to taxes@washtenaw.gov, and I've got staff that'll help with that. We also, in my office, just for Washtenaw County, have created a program called Bridge Loans to Affordability. Now, MIHAF is a grant, and it's up to $25,000, and it does not have to be paid back. There's no underwriting that accompanies it. Bridge Loans is a loan, but it's a no interest loan. So if you're having problems with your taxes, do seek out Taxes at. We'll take a look at your situation. We'll see if you qualify for the bridge loans. We do ask people to meet confidentially with a accredited or credible professional financial advisor and budget counselor. We pay for that so that there's no cost to the person, but we want to make sure that their home is sustainable for them, that they have a good budget and a good debt reduction plan going forward. And then we make these loans. The loan is not due until the property is sold or the person's deceased and the heirs take possession of the property. And then the loan is paid from the sale or the transfer of the property. So bridge loans is a really good thing to know about. And then the last program I wanted to talk about was Home for Generations. And I think, Kathy, you were hoping we could do a whole session on some of these really important programs that we've started here in Washtenaw County. There is a racial wealth gap in our country and certainly in Washtenaw County. And the majority of wealth that Americans own is in their home. And that's why it's so rewarding to be a homeowner. That's probably, Kathy, why you find your job so rewarding, to help people acquire homes. But the federal government systemically excluded Black people from government wealth building programs, from FHA loans, from guaranteed bank loans. The veterans who were coming back on the GI Bill were not able to purchase homes. So due to this long-standing discriminatory practices, and later in the 60s, the redlining that took place and the exclusion of Blacks in certain neighborhoods, we have found that a lot of families, not all minority families, some white families as well, who were not eligible for any type of conventional financing, that they purchased their homes informally. A handshake, a non-written land contract, and their heirs, their children, their grandchildren have lived in those homes for generations and can't prove they own them. So they are not eligible for any of these things that we've been talking about. They can't get a principal residence exemption. They can't get a poverty exemption. They can't file for a homestead tax credit or a home heating credit. So I have a partnership with the probate judge, and we have an entire team of these fabulous attorneys countywide who are giving their time pro bono without any charge, and family mediators. And we were working to quiet title in the names of the heirs so that they can continue to live in their home. Very exciting program. And at that, we'll just see you again the next time we meet.
We've got some new programs that we'd like to find out more information on. My half is certainly really cool, and then the Home for Generations. So maybe we could get together again and focus on that, because these are very beneficial. And the whole point is, don't wait. You don't have to be embarrassed. You can choose to be embarrassed, yet please reach out, because the earlier you reach out, A, a new program could come and play. B, the income information changes, the laws change. So there you can tell from Catherine, she's got deferment, bridge, installment plans, Home for Generations, my half. She's just a wealth of information, and her team wants to help you. I want to help you keep your home, and let's work together to just reach out to taxes@ewashtenaw.gov before it's too late. This is where Catherine and I work together to make sure you can keep your home. And as always, Catherine, I thank you so much for being a wealth of information and a huge educator for our county and our state, and just a great American.
Well, thank you so much. I love it. And my team, we're non-judgmental. All of us are human beings, and we get in trouble. The finances aren't everybody's forte. So, Kathy, thank you. Thank you very much.
Till next time, be safe, Michiganders, and we'll talk soon.
Bye-bye.